Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And this is a very important hour tonight because we're talking about the security of this country and we're talking about having a secure source of oil and energy into the future. And as Americans around the country know, it hasn't been too long. They just go out and look at what the gas pump says. And I know when I left Bowling Green, my hometown in Ohio this morning, gas was $3.49 a gallon. And you know, we only have to go back to January of '09 when President Obama took office and gasoline was $1.78. So we've seen a dramatic increase of gasoline. But what we need to do is we need to talk about not only about the security, but where we're going to be getting our oil from, because oil runs our manufacturing, and it's very, very important. I serve on the Energy and Commerce Committee. And earlier this year, in manufacturing jobs in this country, on just our committee alone on Energy and Commerce, we had 1,729,250 manufacturing jobs on our committee alone, according to the national manufacturers. Today, that number has dropped to 1,526,941, or a loss of 202,309 jobs in manufacturing. And when I'm out talking to my folks in the manufacturing, small and large, one of the things that really hits them is what the cost of energy is and where it's going to be coming from. And when we've got the problems over in the Middle East and with Iran, and there's a question as to if we're going to have a secure source in that region of the world, it pushes up the price of energy, and it affects the jobs in this country. But we have a really unique opportunity in this country, and the President does. And what the President can do is to get this, the Keystone XL pipeline going. And we've urged him in committee, and we're urging him in Congress to make that decision and get this going. Let me just go through a few facts, if I may. You know, first of all, a lot of people might not realize this, but the Canadians are our largest folks up there to the north that provide energy to us in the form of oil. We get 13% of our current U.S. energy, our oil needs, comes from Canada, or 23% of all U.S. petroleum imports come from Canada. A lot of people might think they come from over in the Middle East. They don't. They come from our friends up north, our good neighbors up north. Another statistic I think is really important to point out is that when we send $1 to Canada for Canadian products, we're getting 90% back from the Canadians on purchases they make of U.S. goods and services. So it's a very, very great relationship to have with the Canadians because it's a great relationship, our largest partner to the north, and when it comes to trading. But Canada is only second to Saudi Arabia for proven recoverable oil reserves, with more than 170 billion barrels in the form of the oil sands. 170 billion barrels. And again, as the largest supplier of oil to the U.S., Canada provides consistency and stability with nearly 2 million barrels per day, which is currently more than, again, of the 20% of U.S. imports. And approximately 56% of all Canadian exports of oil to the U.S. flow into the northern Midwest region. That's Ohio, Illinois, Indiana, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. 94% of all those imports into the region come from Canada. 76% of this oil is from the oil sands. So 40% of all the oil refined in this region also comes from that area of the oil sands. And a report that was issued by the Canadian Energy Research Institute, the CERI, states that U.S. jobs supported by Canadian oil sands development could grow from 21,000 jobs today to 465,000 jobs by 2035. But I think it's also important to note that, you know, we're looking at about 20,000 jobs right now and another 100,000 jobs on ancillary if this pipeline gets approved and gets moving. So it's incumbent that the President takes action, that we can get these jobs in the United States, but also, more importantly, along with those jobs, is to make sure that we have a secure source of oil in this country. 2,400 American companies in 49 states are involved in development of Canadian oil sands. That's important, because it's just not the Canadians up there that are doing this. It's American companies, American jobs, making sure that we have that stable source. So when it comes right down to it, we need to have the President act immediately and favorably on this to get America moving on jobs, but also at the same time to make sure that we have a stable and secure source of energy in this country. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I'd like to yield back the balance of my time to my friend Mr. Terry from Nebraska.
Thank you.
I'm yielding back to the speaker.
Thank you.